What's going on, everybody? This is Mike with Film Facet, and this video, there's a lot to unpack. Um, little history here before I say any of that. I just came aware of a situation within the independent horror scene, and it's not a new story. It's filmmakers preying upon people that are fans of low-budget horror that want to support it financially. We're talking about crowdfunding thieves, and it's a big problem in the independent horror community. It's a huge problem. So anyway, I just was privy to another one that's going on. Apparently, it's really sad that it's somebody that I know of. I don't personally know this person, but I know of them, and they used to be an inspiration to people, and now he's ripping people off. Very, very disheartening, to say the least. But anyway, getting back to my history, I do have history with independent horror productions. I worked in it for 4 or 5 years before I decided to get out of it for a number of reasons. One of which was this type of stuff. So, well, for proof that I worked on stuff, I mean, it's not much because I don't really want to go into details about it, but, here's a behind-the-scenes shot. This is me. This is an actor, production assistant. This was a few years ago. This was an independent horror film. And I not only was on the crew, but I'm in a scene. That's me from a little acting, which I didn't do much of. So, I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this stuff. So, here we go. I'm on a Facebook group that primarily deals with cult film collecting, horror film collecting, things like that. And so I saw this post that was put in here, and I don't know what this person's affiliation is. I assume he's a contributor, a financial contributor to some of these projects. But real quick, it seems like that this Lauren person, and you can see, well, I don't know if you can see how well you can see this, but this post was made on January 6th about excited for my new partnership with Bailing. We are diving into a beautiful new year, doing fantastic projects that will inspire women. Today is February 5th. This Indiegogo campaign is gone. Don't know how much they raised, but it is gone. Excuse me. Here is another Indiegogo from this person. Posted January 8th. It is also gone. From Indiegogo. Where's the money? And here is one of the pages. When you click on the link, this is what it takes you to. Nothing. Here is another one. Posted January 11th. Of another project that they're raising funds for. And it has now disappeared. So, We got some shenanigans going on here, right? This is one person. Mainly the whole thing is about this guy, right? The guy who used to be an inspiration to people that were struggling with weight loss because he had a great story. His story, what he was very, very obese, and he went on a weight loss journey, and he chronicled it on Facebook and other social media platforms, and it was an inspiration to people. It was, and it seemed heartfelt. He also has another like YouTube channel where he goes and checks out all the latest home video releases, which is fine. Then he got into making low budget horror. And by that time I was out of it, so I did see it. I was like, good for him. He's doing, what he loves to do, because it's apparent by his home video release and home video collection videos that he's a big fan of low budget horror. So that's cool. And I've done it. It's a lot of fun. Um but then I didn't think too much of it. And that was a few years ago, and here we are today. And apparently he's ripping people off right and left. And don't have to go into a lot of research. There are enough people saying, stay away from this dude. Indiegogo has banned him from their platform. So he was no longer able to promote his campaigns because he was removed. I'm assuming so were his campaigns. So he had a list of people that are in the industry that would champion these projects. So he started DMing everybody that he could think of. Donate, donate, donate. Even though he had already been banned from Indiegogo for fraud. From what I understand, he was also taking money from some of his projects and putting them into other projects. Like he was donating to his own Indiegogo from other project campaign funds, right? That's real shady, man. To appear that he's got a lot of support and a lot of people are donating, I've seen numbers like he had one that had generated $76,000 worth of donations. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And he's taking that money and putting it in other projects and to make it appear that he's got all this support and to basically to generate more interest in getting more people to donate. When people see how successful it is, people tend to jump on the bandwagon, right? So we've had that going on. Gonna read some of the stuff because this is the stuff that convinced me that this is legit. You have this person saying SCP is to be avoided. Here's another independent horror filmmaker. I'm glad this is coming to light. It's been destroying the overall reputation of indie fundraising for a while now. Bai Ling is too good for this. Glad she stepped away. So it's not like a revelation that this type of behavior happens. It happens quite often. And it needs to be stopped. You can't keep going. So I'm just going to read some more of these things. This person, I've heard several stories of how scammy Sean is. I have plenty of DMs where all he does is ask me for money. Is honestly one of the reasons I've been so reserved when it comes to the movie thing. Here's another. I get a lot of voicemail DMs from him asking for money. And then we go on down. Um, let's see. We're going to keep on going. I just have to read through some of this. SCP messaged me constantly about helping fund his movies, even after I told him I wouldn't invest in his films because I was trying to make my own. So here's some examples of him begging for money via Facebook Messenger. That one, and there's that one, and then there's this one. I'm glad he never messaged me. Jesus. And the person after posting those, all from the same person. Here's from my DMs the other day, just looking at the Indiegogo, and it's like $3,500 for a speaking role. Laughing my ass off. I'd be damned if I ever pay for a role, and I'll never support any film that has anybody paying for a role, period. Acting is a profession. So, yeah, I did not know about that. That's a huge red flag. $3,500 to be in my movie. Who are you? You're not Steven Spielberg. Get the fuck out of here. And then, of course, so he's like crowdfunding past couple of years, 5 movies. None of them have been released. None of them, including the first one that was made, allegedly, a couple years ago. I'm still waiting on my copy of Scream Bloody Murder. He said he doesn't have control of it, and the producers want it distributed to streaming before they ship the physical copies out. Well, that sounds like a load of bullshit. After all this, I am no longer going to donate to anything of Sean's again. To be honest, even if he is innocent, I just don't have the personal funds to be chucking money at his films like that. And of course, you are always, no matter what, are going to have people that are going to continue to support him no matter what. So, this person, do you actually have any idea what it takes to put out your own movie? Actually, I do. It's a lot of hard work. Do you think it is free to do? The reality is that it all adds up quickly. Location costs, travel expenses, room costs, lighting and sound, camera work. The list goes on and on. So much so I'm not going to read all of this because it's all just a bunch of mindless support for somebody who's a douchebag. Scream Bloody Murder was not his best experience. It was mishandled, which really bothered him. Still does. Like, this chick doesn't know for a fact what's going through this fucking guy's head. Okay? He has lied from you from day one. This person, what I'm about to read, might be one of the greatest responses to this Kim Phillips chick. And this is from somebody that's in the business and knows. And apparently has worked with this guy before and was not a good experience. I'm shocked. I'm sorry, you mean him having an attitude once getting on set, rude to everyone, and when someone is asking him if he needs anything, he gets rude or asking what does he want and asks what does he want to eat and yells at the person, then steals DVDs from me? Shut the fuck up. I don't care about his wannabe A standards. He was a dick once he got on set. Little bitch baby to me, and I don't care. He is not a lister. And my first time doing a big feature film, but go ahead. Looks like he's a piece of shit anyways, with tons of people laughing my ass off. He is making too many mistakes. Goodbye, bitch. Sorry his room wasn't wanna A BS standards. Y'all, he was mad cause the room wasn't done for him. I had a small ass crew of 4 with a huge cast, and he was bitching about a room. Bro wanted to act like he was famous. It's a small indie film. Someone wasn't supposed to be in there and slept there. I fired the person for not making sure everything was clean for the next person, so fuck off. Oh, one little mistake for a first time big production. Bitch, get out of here. He was making many and still is. At least I'm winning shit, and nothing he makes is great. So we have that, which is hilarious. His movies look like shit. He barely looks like he breaks 10K doing them, which would mean a sizable portion is pocketed. Good for you being a mom or whatever you are, but that's just your job. He's a rude, racist, sexist, untalented piece of shit. It's sad that so many resources have been wasted on someone with no vision, skill, or class. So I don't feel bad about exposing him because he needed to be exposed, and so does this Lauren Francesca chick. They all scammers need to be exposed. Number one. Number two, they're dumb as fuck. And here's why. Because eventually, your little charade is going to get found out. They all do. And once that happens, get ready. Get ready to reap the whirlwinds, pal. Because you're going to get it twice as bad as you gave it to somebody else, right? So, I may feel a little. You may think I'm acting a little invested when I don't really know anybody that's going on, but being ripped off, being um contributing to somebody's project and then not getting the perks that was promised me is something I can relate to because it's happened to me. And it happened when I was still in the industry making films. The sad thing is, it was done to me by the filmmaker I was helping make his movie. And sure, it could have been an oversight. But should I have to be the one to remind them, oh, by the way, I gave you $70 and I didn't get my Blu-ray that I ordered and I didn't get my t-shirt that I ordered. I shouldn't have to remind people. That's their job, right? So I never really said anything. I didn't think I needed to. So $70 there, and then previously I had ordered an older movie of his that was on Blu-ray and paid $25 for, and I never got that either. So I guess I just gave him $100 bill and said, "Here you go, bro. Feel sorry for you. Live it up." So anyway, that's kind of my emotional tie to all this. because it still pisses me off. Just ridiculous. So I feel bad for people that contribute and then get ripped off. So that's why I'm making this video. I want people to be aware that there's scumbags like this guy and this woman, and they're predators. You gotta look out for these people. How do you go from being an inspiration with your weight loss journey to inside of like 10 years, you've turned into a gigantic jack off that's ripping people off and that has apparently some kind of narcissistic attitude when he's on his movie sets? Like he's fucking Spielberg. I will leave this video with this comment, which ends up being the very last comment in this thread. And it personally, I love the hell out of this comment. All right, so here it is. Cool Duder. That's his YouTube handle. Uncool Duder. Scammer inside of 10 years. What a career. So glad I can saddle up with my popcorn and watch this shit show unfold publicly. Other lurking filmmakers, please take heed. This is likely going to be you in a few years, or less if you behave in a similar fashion. True story. If you're going to get into filmmaking, don't rip people off. It's not that hard to do. Read annoying the ever-loving shit out of people with your crowdsource funding campaigns and garbage trailers review videos, funding multiple projects without finishing any of them funded, and lacking the self-awareness to realize you're a total tool. I agree. You're a total tool.